All right, let's jump right into this explainer. Today, we're looking at a completely fascinating collision of global trade, environmental crisis, and next-gen edge AI. We're going to explore a geopolitical standoff that honestly most people don't even realize is happening right now, and see exactly how a very specific piece of technology is stepping up to solve it.
3.46 million. To put that number into perspective, every single year, a staggering 3.46 million tons of municipal solid waste crosses from Ontario, Canada, right over the border into Michigan. We aren't just talking about a few stray garbage trucks here. We're talking about a massive, continuous, industrial-scale pipeline of trash moving across an international border every single weekday.
To unpack all of this, here is our roadmap. We'll quickly cover the Ontario-Michigan Waste Corridor, the looming 2026 trade war, Ontario's landfill capacity cliff, the sentient bridge technology, the next-gen AI edge stack, and finally, explainable compliance and biocarbon. So, Section 1, the Ontario-Michigan Waste Corridor. Let's understand the sheer scale of this cross-border disposal. Look at this, a massive 14.35% of all waste buried in Michigan landfills actually originates from Ontario. Think about that for a second. If Ontario were a U.S. state, it would be a top 3 contributor to Michigan's landfills. We're talking hundreds of tractor trailers crossing the Windsor-Detroit Ambassador Bridge and the Blue Water Bridge every single morning, essentially using a neighboring country as a giant low-cost trash chute.
Moving to Section 2, the 2026 trade war. We're looking at how cascading tariffs could disrupt a 120-year integrated supply chain. So in early 2026, Washington rapidly escalated its trade policies. After a Supreme Court ruling struck down emergency tariff powers in February, a 15% global surcharge dropped almost immediately. But the real cliff, the big one, is August 19th. That's when severe 50% duties on Canadian goods are scheduled to trigger. Suddenly, this 120-year-old integrated cross-border waste supply chain is caught right in the crossfire of high-stakes USMCA or CUSMA renegotiations under the Washington administration. Section 3, Ontario's landfill capacity cliff. What are the extreme market forces driving this crisis?
The root of this whole crisis boils down to extreme economic arbitrage, basically a massive gap in tipping fees, which is the ticket price to the dump. It costs just 36 cents per ton in Michigan, compared to nearly $190 in Toronto, right? So it's vastly cheaper to just burn fuel trucking garbage across an international border than to recycle it locally. And this is compounded by a huge looming problem. Ontario is projected to hit total domestic landfill exhaustion by 2034. They literally will have nowhere to put it.
Facing the threat of border closures involving Donald Trump and this domestic capacity exhaustion, Ontario Premier Doug Ford passed Bill 5 to fast-track local landfill expansions, entirely bypassing standard environmental assessments. As he explicitly stated, it's a provincial hedge to protect Ontario if Washington blocks their garbage exports. It's clear that this shared ecosystem is deeply vulnerable and, quite frankly, entirely backed up.
Which brings us to Section 4, the sentient bridge technology. How do we operationalize AI at the tipping bin?
I really want you to remember this concept because it's absolutely brilliant and forms the core of our explainer today. The 95-wood digital refinery acts as a sentient bridge. It takes chaotic, mixed construction waste right at the bin and refines it digitally to meet the ultra-strict, high-purity requirements of the biocarbon market. It's essentially using AI to short-circuit the landfill completely.
Now, before we look to the future, it's vital to note what's actually running in the field today. The currently deployed platform operates right at the tipping bin using a Google Pixel 10 Pro. Powered by the Tensor G5 chip and Android 16, it runs offline machine learning models that classify waste in under half a second. That sub-500 millisecond decision is the very first layer of the sentient bridge in action.
Section 5, Next-Gen AI Edge Stack. Let's map out the forward architecture.
This is where the technological leap gets truly incredible. By operationalizing the Google Pixel 11 Pro and the Tensor G6 chip running on Android 17, the system leverages the LightArt AI stack features and turbo quant compression. What this means in plain English is that the sentient bridge will process visual data at the edge even faster, incredibly cheap per decision, and with significantly higher accuracy than what's deployed today, just in time to handle those looming August tariffs.
The proposed workflow for this digital refinery is brilliantly structured into 3 steps. First, you get that instant offline categorization right on the device. Second, if a load of wood is kind of ambiguous, say falling into a 70 to 85% confidence amber band, it escalates to a cloud model council, where powerful cloud AI models like Gemini and Claude cross-examine the image. Finally, the operator holds a button to invoke the phone's Titan M2 secure chip, instantly creating a court-admissible cryptographic seal of exactly what was in that bin.
Finally, Section 6, Explainable Compliance and Biocarbon. How do you turn a physical sort into a bankable asset?
Well, it matters because of the incredible UI/UX output PDF documentation features. That digital signature instantly generates specific, automated documents. It creates a USMCA shielded certificate of origin, proving it's clean wood classified under the International Harmonized System Code HS3825.L, making it totally tariff exempt at the border. It also autonomously generates provincial environmental compliance manifests, and crucially, it links that physical load to global registries like Puro.Earth to create highly lucrative carbon removal credits. These automated PDS essentially become the digital twin of the waste.
So the absolute key takeaway here is that the 9.5 Wood Digital Refinery, by utilizing that advanced AI edge stack, secures Ontario's industrial leadership in the global circular bioeconomy. It's transforming something that literally costs money to get rid of into certified high-purity biocarbon that actually generates revenue. It effectively shorts the landfill entirely. It's a real game changer.
As that August 19th 50% tariff deadline looms over the border, and as landfills rapidly reach their absolute physical limits, it leaves us with a huge question. As supply chains fracture, will edge computing and on-device AI become the ultimate safety valve for international commerce and climate action? It's a truly fascinating space to watch, for sure. Thanks for exploring it with me today.